Hi, Sibongiseni. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Hello,
Hi, everyone. Hi, Stephanie.
how are
Hi.
you?
Hi, Khadi. I'm well, thanks, and yourself, Stephanie.
Also good, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Just make sure, please, if you're joining with a profile that is not yours, that your name and surname appear. We do compare them to the signed register. Please do make sure that you do sign the register so that we can mark your attendance and we don't mark you absent. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to your FundReady workshop for the day. Thank you so much all of you for joining us. Keletso Sibolai has joined us from Absa to come and share some information with us. Keletso, I'm not sure. I saw your email saying you would like to present for us at the beginning of the program.
Sure. Yeah, sure. If you can allow me. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. Let me just start the video. Apologies. I'm
Okay.
used to join.
I spoke to Kitilwe. He said he's also joining. We just had trouble with his email, so I'm sure he's on his way in now.
Oh, am I the only presenter? Maybe I should wait maybe for him to join me as well.
Yeah, we can give it 5 minutes and then we
Okay,
can
no problem.
resume. Yes, and maybe more
Sure.
people will be joining in the meantime.
Sure, no problem at all.
Okay, thanks, Skeleto. to everyone who just joined, welcome. We were just giving more the other entrepreneurs and some of our facilitators just some grace so they can join us. We just 1 more minute and then we will proceed, and everybody else will find us on the way who's joining us.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Okay, Precious has finally joined us. And
good afternoon. I thought Absa will go first.
yes, we just waited 10 minutes for them to for other entrepreneurs maybe also to join, and also you, and we're waiting also for Kifilwe Mloy to join from Absa, but he said he's just downloading. He'll be in a few minutes, so I think
Okay,
Geleto
but
can
then-
proceed.
Yeah, Keleto can start. I
Yes.
apologize. I thought you guys were going first, so I was just literally just tagging along. Keleto, please come through, my dear. This is your platform. We want to hear more about what Absa has, but how Absa works differently as compared to others. And guys, Mina, as I said, I'm a loyal person. Once I know you are stuck with me. So I would like to introduce Absa. Keleto, I met Keleto in 2016 or 18, I think somewhere there. She was still new at Absa when I was working with Lani and Ewan, yes. So, and before she used to come just sit and listen, nothing else. So now she comes in class, she talks. I didn't even know that she can talk, but anyway, that is her. She runs the program within Gauteng North. While we know this program that we are running now is actually covering the rest of the country, even if there are services, we are going to include her in the group so that she can then refer you to people that would like to actually hear more in their regions on what activities are happening. Absa is doing amazing job from big businesses to smaller businesses, but in the small business space, they are doing enterprise development program, consulting. They're even referring us as service providers work of clients that need hand to hand. So as I said, I will never bring anyone here except Absa, because as much as I bank with Nedbank, and Standard Bank, but Absa for me, that's my poo-poo. So yeah, so guys, please ask all the questions, even when you're stuck in your region, even if it's not within Gauteng North. Please just send her the details. She will make sure that she gets someone within that region to actually help you. Thank you so much, Keleto, for being here.
Thank you so much, Precious, for that intro. No pressure. My name is Keleto Sobolai. I do enterprise development in the Gauteng North regions. So I'll take you through our value proposition as enterprise development, what we do at Absa, and what makes our value proposition unique to our competitors. So I'll start off by, I know my colleague Kifilo is going to join in later. So I'll just run through what we do in enterprise development. So in enterprise development, we stand on 3 pillars. We give our SMEs access to markets, access to business developmental support, and lastly, access to financial support. So I'll start off by the access to markets. So as Absa, we build stakeholder partnerships with the likes of NSBC, your Proudly South African, smart procurement, manufacturing endeavors. And once we have those relationships, we look into our portfolios and see which SMEs are in that certain industry that can benefit from being there and networking with their clients. So at the beginning of the year, we had partnership with Proudly South African in March. We had our SMEs there exhibiting and networking with other clients. So that's another way that we do access to markets. If we partner up with Power FM or ENCA, our SMEs showcase what the business is about, and we give them a bigger platform so that they can advertise and market themselves. So another way we give our SME support is through the business developmental support strategy. So this is one of what gives me joy every morning when I wake up, when I focus on the business development strategy. So what we do is that we partner up with experts like Precious to give our SMEs the gaps that are missing in the businesses. So I guess most of you know that the first 3 years of businesses is very difficult. Most businesses don't survive the first 3 years. So they don't survive because of certain gaps. Either they're not aware of the marketing strategy, business development strategy, they don't know how to plan, their finances are not in place. So those are one of the reasons that makes them not succeed. So what we do is that because we've partnered up with GAD, that will help us identify those gaps. Then we build up accelerator programs, and then we give our SMEs those skills that they need. So currently, myself and Precious have been working with the National Construction Incubator in Tshwane. So we were able to manage and see the gaps that they needed, and we are currently working on those skills. Next week, we are in NYDA. We've built those partnerships, and we will also be giving them those skills that they need. So we have skills running across Gauteng North, Gauteng that we are working with Precious. We don't sleep. So this is what we do best. This is what we love. And Precious works it so hard. It's such a passion. Every time she leaves the place, I'm told that Precious is so great. Then I tell them, no, Precious is spiritual. She loves her job. She loves her job that much. Please excuse me. So Precious is very spiritual. She loves her job, and she does it with a passion. So these are one of the skills development programs that we do. We're running it across, and so this is how we do it. So the last pillar that we stand on is access to financial support. So the financial support that we give to SMEs are for businesses that are 51% or more Black owned. The business has to show profitability. You have to be in the day-to-day running of the business. And once the funding has been approved, you have to move your business to Absa. But what's unique about it is the fact that you don't have to have collateral or security, because we do understand that certain businesses don't have security. So this is what's unique about this value proposition. So this is how we do it. There's also the woman empowerment funding. We also give funding to contracts and purchase orders. And in this instance, you have to show us the contract. We validate and verify that it is correct. And indeed, if it's a legit, then we also give funding for that for our contractors, because not most banks give funding for contracting and purchase orders. But what's important with all of this is the fact that it is important as a business to build up a financial history. When you've got 500, when you've got please hold for me. No, close the door, please. So what's important is that you build up a financial history. When you've got money, deposit in your account so that we as Absa can see that there is some transaction going on. You don't always have to put it up to zero. As my boss said a couple of days ago, we're not in the business of declining. We're not in the business of repossessing cars and homes. We're in the business of making businesses grow. So for us to go and repossess, it's our last option. We want you to keep your relationship going with your business banker. If there's anything that comes up, please knock at their door and tell them, this is what's happening in my business. They will listen to you and they will be able to assist. I mean, in terms of COVID, when most businesses were affected, Absa was able to freeze payments for most businesses for 6 months because we understood the economic challenges that people were going through. So we are in the business of making our businesses grow, because once they succeed, we also succeed as a business. So my advice is that once you open up your business account, get to know your banker. Let your banker know your businesses so that when you walk in there, they know what your business is about. When stuff is not going well, your banker would know. They can even be able to predict that this is what's going to happen in the next coming months. They will know that your business is seasonal. You're not supposed to be making profits every other month. So once you have that kind of relationship with your banker, it's always easier to knock and say, look, this is not going well. What do I do? And we always have those open doors. So this is what I wanted to share. And in terms of the required documents, we would ask for your business plan. It has to be detailed, because especially if you're start up, we have to see a cash flow projections. We have to see that all the research is done and everything is up to scratch. Normally, Precious also assists with building business plans for our startups so that they know what Absa requires from them. We will also, in terms of CV, we also ask for your CV so that we see that the skills that you require, and do you have them? If you don't have those skills, we know that in your business plan, you will say that I'm working with so-and-so who has those skills that I do not have. So those are the kind of requirements that we look for. And we do ask for financials for 6 to 12 months. But obviously, if you're a startup, your business plan will speak for itself. So I think I've covered most of the work that we do in ED in terms of financial and non-financial support to our SMEs. And Precious does have my contact. So this is what we do. We're running Gauteng. We're giving skills everywhere. We're giving SMEs opportunities to network and grow, and just to reach out to us every time there's any problems. If you link up with me, I will give you a banker in your certain area where your business is based, and you are pleased to build that relationship with your banker, and this will make your business grow. And I'm always at reach. If I'm not on the road or Precious, I also respond to emails, even if it's at night, because we run in this with a passion, because we do want our businesses to grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just want to highlight that what I have found different than other bankers has been, I can literally say, even if I have a client in another province, not just Gauteng, okay, let's give me a person who was the Northwest, she will immediately give it to me. And if she is unable, like she's in meetings, I have another person, Lane, who's in Northwest, you know. And
Yes.
lucky enough, 3 weeks ago, I had a privilege of meeting, or actually almost all the regions. I think it was KZN that was not there. All the regions, all the province. So guys, you are covered where you need help. But I also want to emphasize Absa has an account which you only activate it with 500 Rand. And this account, you only pay, you don't pay bank charges, you only pay transaction fees. And I was like, oh, I wish I was qualifying, you know. But it's also about keeping the bank open so that we can start tracking your performance. Because you gotta need to start somewhere. And I know some of you are still at a very startup. Start now, making sure that your compliance and your things are in order while you're working on your ideas. Build up a relationship and attend the training programs. Do what the training programs are doing and grow. And that's the only way you will. And as you're showing up in each opportunity, opportunities will come. The other thing that I think, Keleto, you didn't mention, in the access to market, it's a manufacturing, it's a general business trading like SCNet. When you are actually up, so you get it like a reduce for access to market with the SCNet, plus also the what is it called, supply chain, the one that happened in September. Please explain that, because that also gives you access to market. By the way, Absa used to sponsor me before for all of those. But again, I'm not feeling bad that no longer doing that, because I have to allow other people first. I mean, I've been getting all these benefits. So yeah, so they are actually there. So there are people who have an account with Absa and have a banker, but is in need of help with tender quotation. That is Louisa. Okay, so tender quotations is the way you finance that is called contract financing. If you are doing tenders, the bank can only do contract financing. But what you need to make sure is you have to have at least a minimum of 20 to 50 to 25% gross profit margin. Because when I am analyzing those figures, or the banker analyzed them, what was the gentleman's name that you referred me to? What was his name? The Afrikaner guy.
Which one, Precious, for contract financing?
Yes, the gentleman that I was working with on that contract, the one for that tender.
He's based in Pretoria East. I think I'll remember his name. Yes.
His
He is
name
based
just
in
missed
Pretoria
my
East.
head.
Yes. Yes.
When
yes.
he analyzes the finance, first of all, when he analyzes the finances and he's picking up some gaps, he will come back to you and say, fix this and fix this. If you saying, I don't know how, don't pretend you know what when the banker gives you a feedback and say, no, you need to fix this and fix this, rather say, I don't know how, when you don't know how, or you don't have enough time, because then they reroute that request to people like Kelet. So because Keleters, they exist within Absa across the country. She's just responsible for the Johannesburg or the Gauteng North. So I am saying to you, the relationship that you should have is to, one, be persistent in following up, but number two, say what it is that is happening in your business so that they can actually be able to extend for help. Okay, I see there's some hand. I was explaining about the short term. You can fund your tender by a contract financing, but you can also fund your tender by actually getting a revolving loan. I actually used to have a revolving loan with Absa, but I had it at my personal capacity. You can also have a credit card. I mean, so with Absa, I also have a credit card, but I have the credit card in my personal capacity, not in my business. But again, remember, at the beginning, you might need to subsidize your business by having these things in your personal capacity, especially if your business does not have a history, some sort of a transactions. So consider also that. I hope I was able to answer your question. Okay, so may I request also, Keleto, if you may just share your approach into the tenders, the quotation.
So what normally happens with the tenders and contracts, you will send us through your contract or your tender, and then that is attached with the invoices that justifies the amount that you are requesting. So you will get your invoices, your quotations, because if you're asking for 1 million, we'll really like to know where is that 1 million going. And in the background of that, I will call the people who are giving you the tender just to verify that it's correct, because we've seen that where purchase orders and tenders are concerned, there is fraud. Sometimes we give in our documents that are not legit, only to find that these things don't really exist. So in the back of that, we do verification process just to find that it is legit. And then once you give us the breakdown of what you would need and what the project entails, and credit are clear on what you're trying to achieve, then the process is run for application and then you're approved. And that's how normally we do contract and purchase orders deals. So I don't know if my colleague is here. Has Kifilo joined? Because I was hoping that he would touch on the banking side of it. But yes, that's how we do it. And it's also given in the form, if it's not revolving loan, they'll also give it to you in the form of an overdraft. Yes.
All also that I would like to advise entrepreneurs, when you do get money, don't use all the money. We have a tendency of wiping the bank empty, zero, nothing. When we do that, we then are showing that we cannot manage the money. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that you keep money just for the sake of making sure you're building up what? The history.
And just to add on to that, Precious, even if you have a judgment in your name, it'll be great for you to declare to us to say that, no, I owe either your Jet or your Edgar's, but there is an arrangement in place. Because once the bank finds out and then there's no arrangement in place, it will look like you are this individual who makes debts and do not go back and fix up and make arrangements, and you have a habit of not paying back. So it's great to say that I owe so and so, but there is an arrangement in place for me to pay. So that is great. There's nothing wrong with having judgments, but it's good that you go back and make arrangements that you will pay.
Yes, absolutely. And I also want to just cover before there's two hands, and then there's a comment on the chat box. Please have a look, Geleto. So the other thing I wanted to mention was that Absa does borrow people. They have like something which is called alternative funding. So they are able to give money to people who are even blacklisted. Again, you better make sure that when you come to Absa, you have a very good deal. A good deal is a good financial statement, it's a good balance sheet, or it's a good business plan. Dagmar has already helped you guys, and she's also available to review and give you some inputs. Please, I have indicated to some of you, make time with me. I've tried to reach out to some of you, but some of you have not come back to me to actually say, I have seen some of your business plan and I'm not happy because maybe in other instances, the business plan mode is not right or your target market is wrong. But I'm glad that some of you have been coming back to me and saying, Precious, okay, what do you want to say? And then you are willing to hear and understand. Guys, as JD, we have been doing this for the past 13 years. And before that, I've been in the consulting space for more than 20 years. I've analyzed businesses and analyzed different industries. When we're giving you feedback, we're not there to crush your goals and your ideas. We're there to give you a feedback because we are outside of the game. We are looking at you playing the game. And sometimes we see that you are not playing the game the right way, because we have seen it all. So I really want to emphasize, guys, that when you come to programs like this, just throw yourself in. Be willing to do the things differently than the way you were doing them before. Understand when we're saying step by step, start, if you have 3 businesses within your business, let's try to consolidate first, get something first starting so that there's some income coming through, because some of you have this grand idea, but this grand idea is not starting off. But the reason why it's not starting off is because you're stuck in your own ideas. You're stuck in your own way. You don't want to hear anyone say, hang on, have you thought about doing this? Can you try this? And then you will be, because no one knows what's going to work, what's not going to work. We are just trying to give you a guide because we've seen it. Okay, now let me, oh, there she has included her email, her cell number, and I will also add her, Keleto, I will also add you on our group. And then, because, yeah, you are our co-sponsor, as you are aware. Okay, then Stephanie is asking, good afternoon, everyone. What is it that one must do if wants to change their bank for business to Absa? I think you just DM her that you want to change your bank, and please specify the area that you're at so that Keleto will know who to actually refer you to within Absa. Okay, and then there's a hand. Paul, please come through. Freshmore, please come through. Unmute yourself. Paul?
Hello.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Paul. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Okay, Paul, you can't hear us.
Yeah, no, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
My question around was around the comment you mustn't maybe use the money until maybe it's zero on your account. But in our situation, we find that maybe we get a lot of opportunities, our exhibitor somewhere, or to go and present the business, as somebody. We haven't really made much sales, but we told you that money that is there in the account is enough to maybe transport us to business exhibition or opportunities that are there. Then how do you view that? Because even if when we take the money, we don't write it on our statement that it's maybe money for a transport going to maybe a meeting or going to an exhibition. How do you then view that as the bank?
To answer that, as I said, you need to have a relationship with your banker. So most of the time when you apply for credit, you sit down with your banker and you tell them what is it that you're trying to do. They analyze your financials. And in all of that, they motivate to credit as to why you should get the funding. So once you sit down with your banker and explain all of those things, they will put that down as part of motivation to say that the funds are used because of 1, 2, 3, 4. The business hasn't been performing well because it's a seasonal business. It does 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence, I say it is very important to have that relationship with your banker so that when you do apply, they put in the correct motivation so that credit knows what exactly is happening in your business.
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
But I think, Paul, your business is gonna change. Work on the stuff we spoke about. I promise you. Just try it for maybe just say for the next 10 days. I promise you, you are gonna start seeing the money.
All right. No, thank you very much, man.
Great. Remember, guys, the first week after the orientation, I spoke to you about the 5 C's: character, Do you guys remember that? You guys don't have any reaction whatsoever. There is no one making any comments, no one responding. Do you guys
Yes, we remember it.
Character. Character is about integrity. Character is about showing up. Character is about doing what you mean and be consistent in it. When you have a character like that, you are more reliable. When you are more reliable, we are expected to do the right thing because you always do the right thing at the right time. So just remember that. And remember the other thing that we spoke about, I think it was week 2, when I said you build the business from relationships. It's not just about a custom. It's not about suppliers. Everything is about what? Relationships. And where are the relationships? Where do you build the relationships? And how do you build the relationships? You build it from trust. And the trust is built from what? Doing the same thing and acting in the same way. So people know and understand, and they can stand behind you. They can actually talk about you in rooms which you may not even be there. And that is very important. Now, there is a challenge in some of you. Yeah, so it was 7 C's, yes. Usually it's 5, I added 2 more. So yeah. There's a question here. I think it's from Mpo. Mpo, do you want to just come in and ask the question? Mpo is from Northwest. He's running an incubation. I think, Mpo, this is your 3rd program with GAD, if I'm not mistaken. You're with me. NEF.
Is the second one.
Is it? No, but you were NEF. That's where I met you, right?
Not NEF. There was one running last year.
Oh, yes.
Built to last.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, I thought you were NEF client, but anyway, Mpo runs an incubation. Please just explain what you do, Mpo, because also when Keleto is hooking you up, she will have an understanding of what you do and your business.
Thanks for that, Sis Precious. Greetings, Keleto. Good to meet you. Hopefully we'll engage with your colleagues this side of the world. So I run an incubator which intends to focus in the mining sector, but we are also considering other sectors as well. And our aim is to be able to support the businesses that already have some sort of traction. So we don't focus on pure startups. We don't do business plans. We focus on those that have traction, even if it's not consistent, but they have a competitive offering, and we want to support them to be able to grow their revenue. And one of the things that they need is what you say Absa is offering, and hopefully we'll be able to engage and see how we can assist our SMEs. The biggest challenge has always been turnaround time. So this type of a service is being done by most banks and other service providers. What I would be interested to find out from Absa is, what are the turnaround times if an SME ticks the boxes? I'm happy that credit record is not going to be a deal breaker. So I think turnaround time would be an interesting one, and whether you would consider anyone who's not an Absa client.
Hi, what do you mean by Absa client? In terms of the services that you're going to be providing to people? No, they don't have to be Absa clients for us to provide those services. We support all SMEs, whether they are Absa banked or not. And then in terms of the turnaround time, it's 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks max. It could go faster, but I will try to manage expectation by saying 3 weeks. It can go faster. And I hear that you are based in the Northwest, and it's mainly mining. So my colleague Ratanang is based in Northwest and deals with a lot of mining deals. It'll be great that maybe you send me through your business profile and everything that you have. Maybe we can schedule a meeting with him so that we see what programs he's running in the Northwest, what other added value services that you can add to what already he's doing so that you can partner up with him. Because I know in Northwest he's doing a lot of those mining deals. So maybe if you can email me what you have, and then maybe we can set up a meeting so that we can hear exactly what is it that you'd like to propose for SMEs in that region specifically.
Yes, so that sounds amazing. So some of the work, Mpo, that I was talking to you about when we met in Northwest is relating to Absa.
Good. Thanks. And I
Great.
remember you mentioned Absa also does other sectors. I think that will be an interesting conversation with her colleagues this side.
Yes. So when we spoke with them, they are interested. The only difference that I had not come back to them was because I'm finalizing my arrangement with the Northwest province. I just didn't want to deal with it at the individual, at the local level, because I do have a stronger proposal with the province. But I will let you know how far that has gone. But absolutely, I think you'll be a perfect fit with that work. Great. Lebogang is asking a question on the chat box. Keleto, do you want me to read that, or have you answered it?
No, I've seen it. I thought that I had responded, but let me respond. Maybe I sent it to him alone. So in terms of our agri-financing, we do agri-financing. We do have specialists on board. So we have Dr. Langa Simela. So when you have anything along the lines of agri, we send her through your detailed business plan. Then she assesses it. And then because she's that specialist in that sector, then she will give you feedback and tell you what is it that they're expecting, and then she does it one-on-one. So if there's anything that's agri related, we send it to Dr. Langasimela. So if you have anything along those lines, I'll hook you up with our agri specialists that will know what exactly to look up for, because they know that agri is seasonal in terms of what, if you're trying to plant this at the time of the year, what's not going to work, what is going to work. So we do have specialists on board. So if you're interested in that field, I will gladly take you through and then take your business plan, and then we can add Dr. Langa Simela on board, and then she can assess everything that you're trying to do.
Okay, so I see the question goes further though. He said, I've been running my business about 2 to 3 years, but now the challenge is my financial were not in order. I could clearly say that I started this year doing my financial statements. So the history is only starting this year. Oh, that is bad. Okay. Where I operate, it's a lease, but short term, but I can't operate full capacity due to stumbling block of owning the property. So I'm of a view that, Lebogang, I don't know, it sounds like your problem is you're asking yourself, you're stuck in the egg and the chicken thing of what comes first. Of course, if you have started with the finances now, you still don't have sufficient history to actually then apply for buying or for showing, not unless you have off-take agreements. So my suggestion will be rather look into how you can expand your current lease to be a little bit longer, but also allow yourself to increase your sales and keep your records. That is what I would suggest. But maybe also touch base with me. Let me have a look on seeing what other strategies you can use to build up and scale. But I'm glad you started keeping your finances. And please make sure that somebody else also have a look at those finances so that if there are errors that you are making, you pick them up early. Okay. Oh, Stephanie is asking a question. Stephanie is asking a question. They bank with FNB, they want to move to Absa. What must he do?
Okay, that's a nice one. I'm happy you want to move, Stephanie. So you don't have to exactly be in the branch to move your accounts. I can give you all the required documents. So you would need your ID and your ID copy, proof of residence, and SIPC documents. So you will let me know where you are based. Then I can get a banker that is closest to your business. But you can also do it online. So what I would like to encourage is that you mostly get a banker that is closest to your business. They can come through exactly and see exactly what is it that you're doing. And even if you need to see them face to face, it's easier for you. So we can open your business account online even, but I'd like for you to get a banker that is closest to your business. So let me know where you are based so I can get a banker closer to you. And then with all those required documents, you don't even have to go to the branch. They can open a business account for you. But I would love for you to build that relationship with your banker going forward so that they know what your business is about, what is happening. Even if you like to move now from FNB, so that he also knows what challenges you've had with FNB, so that those are ironed out and we don't do the same errors, so that we understand your business fully. So you can send me your details, tell me where you are based. I can get a banker to assist you fully to onboard with Absa.
Great. Amazing. That sounds good. I see people like chatting. Okay, so that is fine. So which means we will refer you to the Northwest team. Don't worry, Stephanie. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add Keleto on our notice group. She will then maybe also Tsagane copy and paste the details on there. We'll add Keleto on the group. The group
I've
that we
already been added on the WhatsApp.
on the WhatsApp, but I don't want it to be on the participant. I want it to be on the notice so that it's only us who are administrators who are sharing so that you don't get overwhelmed. Because I know we're in different group, even with NCI and others,
Yes.
you know. And we're now gonna start NYDA. So yeah. Okay. I wanted just also to cover another issue that you raised, Kiletso, about I think I still don't see if your banker is here. Do you mind just to double check if your banker is here so that I don't take their time?
Sis Precious,
Yes.
just a heads up. Ukifilo he's on the road, so he's struggling with connection.
Okay.
I don't know Keletso, if you don't mind, he said if we don't mind to dial him in. I'm using both my phone and my laptop. So I was waiting for a moment so I
don't
could ask
worry,
us.
it's fine. I think I
Yeah.
would rather have him when he's actually constant. We don't want him when he's mobile or moving because of the
Okay.
network.
Okay.
We can invite him. We still got we're halfway through the program, so we can invite
All
him
right.
at some point in the maybe. It's fine. Thank you so much, Sakane.
Can I let him know? Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, great. There was another thing that you mentioning. I think we were at University of Pretoria. Which was about just us as entrepreneurs, sometimes we are not accountable. We don't separate our personal finances and business finances. And I think I want to just maybe you speak about it in your perspective, Coletta, what we have picked up. But also, I mean, you have been working with entrepreneurs for years. How does the bank sees that? Because I think I've said separate your banking, be accountable. I've said it so many times. I think entrepreneurs don't hear me. Please, you say it in a different way.
So I think I've learned a lot from you, Precious. So in terms of personal and business finances, what I've learned a lot as well from Precious is that get paid, have a salary. Don't go into overspending into your business account thinking that it's yours to overspend and swipe whenever it suits you when there's Black Friday. Get a salary, get paid like all of us, then manage those funds. Don't go into business funds like it's a piggy bank for you to just, it is there for the business. It runs the business. Be accountable. Don't just spend it whichever way you want. So that's how you also separate your business from your personal. And I know it's a challenge that sometimes you did mention that maybe you have transport things that you need to do for the business. Those ones we understand, but there are instances where people just go into the business account and think that they can use it as and when it suits them. So as entrepreneurs, we need to respect the business, get paid, manage your personal funds. Don't think that the business money is for you. It's not for you, it's for the business. Once you are disciplined in that manner, you'll be able to see the difference between the two, and we can build that financial history that you want for your business, and you can see it grow. Because all of us, when we get paid, yes, we run into debts and other things, but don't go into your business fund unless it really, really has to, and it really is for the business. So I know, Precious, you can elaborate further on that into separating the business money and the personal funds as well. Because I like also how you break it down, because entrepreneurs always get shocked when you tell them that, no, that is not your money, it's for the business. Because they think because they're the member or the director or the owner for that matter, they can always go into those funds when they need them. So we need to be disciplined in that so that you can separate the two, the personal finances and your business finances. Thanks, Precious.
Thank you so much, Keletso. Yes, I think it's also because we are both shareholders, we are also directors, we are also employees, and we end up not able to separate these roles. And because we're unable to separate these roles even in our own minds, then how we behave, we then think we're all those things. Whereas if you think like an employee does not think like an investor. An investor does not think like a director who's the boss. So I think at some point as entrepreneur, you have to know that the business is built from you having a track record. And the track record is only going to be built from you making sure that you are putting in the records. And I know at the beginning it's hard, but you gotta need to just keep on working on it, because it's about building up a business. Business is not for overnight, it's the things that you're gonna need to build over time. Today, this week, we're talking about investment. I understand to some of you, one of the reasons why you joined this program was looking for funding. But when I started analyzing some of your business plans, there is no investment. Investment comes first, then the funding. Investment comes first. There must be an investment. There must be an asset. Some of you, you are looking maybe for 5 million or 10 million, but you are not even generating 100 Rand a month. You have to understand that you're not going to get funding when you are not even generating even just a little bit, or you've never generated before. So, which means then you can't ask for a manufacturing plant. Rather, look at a way of saying, okay, let me build up marketing material. Let me get samples. Then I can start, because you see, when you do that, you can then start selling. A banker or anyone want to see money coming through. They're not going to invest in your business if there's nothing that is coming through, especially when it comes to the commercial banks. I also want to say that when you're approaching the commercial bank, approach them when the business is actually continuously trading, not when the business is still dormant. Because not unless you have the best business plan and you have the right qualification, the right team, and you have off-take agreements, of course, approach the bank. But there's no point of approaching the bank if there's nothing, none of those things that I've just mentioned are happening. There is no point. Why? Because there is no guarantee or money that is expected to come from that business. It's still in your head. So those are the things that I just want you to just keep in mind. The other part, I think, Ellis, that I wanted to say when you were mentioning about just as us as human beings, we make mistakes, and then I think also as you're making these mistakes, be in a position to forgive yourself, learn from your mistake. Don't carry your mistake from one year to another. Consistently be reflecting, what did I do well? What is it that I didn't do so well? What can I improve? We can't keep on talking about the issues of saying budget. We can't keep on talking about, you need to make sure you have your BE, you have this. We have to pass that now. We need to pass that for us to grow. So that is what I would like just to add on what Keleto has said. So maybe also what we have done, Keleto, we tried, because it was difficult. The group is about 80 now, but when we started 6 weeks ago, we were 100. It was difficult to manage. We have categorized them according to 10 groups. But what we have picked up from these 10 groups has been, some people are not putting as much effort. As a result, some groups don't work as well. So we need to figure out also, as just people in general, how do we work together and help each other achieve each other's goals without only looking forward to the things that are more related to us. So it's only me benefiting, not everyone. And I think one of the things that you have been promoting, even with UP, was saying entrepreneurs work together. And I think entrepreneurs are not still seeing that working together also help, because you see, when you're working together, 100 Rand work on 100 Rand work, or your network and my network adds up. So maybe please talk about that. I think you did emphasize on that, on the network part, including also the access to market that you are providing and the platforms that you are providing as Absa.
In terms of networking, it is important for businesses to network. Even on this platform, the group chats that you are in, that they have been created, you'll be surprised at how much you can learn from your next business or someone that you're in a group with, because no business exists in isolation. We are all part of a network. We are all part of an ecosystem. What could be working for me, I can learn from you, not to go into the same hurdles, what you've learned from. So once we have networking platforms like these, they are also meant to help you grow as a business. You're not here by mistake. Lerato can learn from Louisa, and we can all learn from each other, because somehow the experiences that you've encountered, that I might also encounter. So please take the time. There's no silly question. There's no something that will be seen as how can you be going through that. That's why we are in this platform, so that you can learn from one another, and you can share the networks that you're using to say that, no, this one works better for me. We can compare prices. You will learn so much from each other. So please know that no business operates in isolation. For now, you will also be sending me quotations. You're getting it from a manufacturer who's getting it from. It's always good to network. There is no business that works in isolation. So always keep that in mind. When you're in a room with other business people, don't sit in isolation and think that you cannot add value, or no one can add value to your business. Please, you are there for a reason. We've put you there for a reason, so that you learn from others, and that what you've gone through, you also give knowledge to other businesses that are coming just right after you. So please use platforms like these, ask questions. You'll be surprised at the answers and the responses that we get from this group alone. Not just from texting Precious alone privately, but just from this group alone, how much you can benefit from them. So please also use that when you've got chance to, you're called into network or exhibit. use that platform. It's not just to sit there in a corner and say, I'm selling this. Use that, walk around the room, talk to other entrepreneurs. You'll be always surprised at how much you can learn.
Great, thank you so much, Keleto. Entrepreneurs, Bonginkosi, Kolile, Enoch, DLM, I don't know who's that. Do you guys have any questions? The aim was that I don't talk as much so that you talk and also just share if maybe you've had bad experience, you need help, just get out there and ask for help. We're here to help. We are going to bring other partners. JD has several partners in different platforms that we're going to bring that are going to help based on what we have picked up from your business plans, where you stuck, what you have DM us, and so on. Fatima, hi, all the way from Cape Town.
Hello, Precious. Hi, everyone. So you and I had to speak last week. However, what happened was that I got an email the Friday afternoon, I think it was, from SA Breweries to say that my funding application wasn't successful. And part of the reason was what you cited, you know, after you've checked out my business plan with regards to the sales funnel, etc., which you did say, listen, you need to work on it, and you gave me direction and you were waiting on feedback from it. But it kind of threw me, you know, for a 6, because I was so confident that I would get this because I was on the ESD program with SA Breweries, and I thought, you know, they walked the journey with me, that it would it almost qualifies you, you know, to get the support. But it took time to sort of how can I say, to tell myself to separate. You know, it's not about me as the individual, but it's about what I'm presenting and how they, you know, how they interpreting the information that we're putting forward. So I am still struggling around that area, Precious, with regards to the sales. Yesterday afternoon, I also got an email from Astron, and they I'll send you a copy of the response that they sent me, where they're waiting for additional information to the application that we submitted. But it's very tough and it's very demotivating when you see your stuff not going through.
Yeah, but I'm glad that we had that session last week. Was it last week?
Yes.
Or before
Yes.
last
Yeah.
Because at least you know what you submitted. So I think God was just preparing you.
Yes.
So there is a lot that we have to work on to clean it up. But I promise you, when it's done, Fatima, your business is just gonna boom, because you have been doing this for years and you have a clear target market. You are working through things. The only thing we need to beef up is the working capital. But we can only work through the working capital when we are clear about our customer segment and the sales analysis that we currently have, so that we can work through the margin. So you're gonna be fine. And the money, Fatima, what you need to understand is that.
Sorry, Precious, I can't hear you. I'm not sure, is it on my side?
Yes, Precious, you're not audible.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was my phone. I was about to switch off and come back.
So what I want to say is, entrepreneurs, prepare before you apply. Prepare and get your stuff being checked by somebody else before you apply. I promise you, when you are, as you are preparing and you're getting yourself ready, when you are ready, it will be there people who will come and knock to your rooms and your houses and your businesses asking you, don't you want to apply for funding? That's how well you will do. They will be offering you funding, not because you went and knocked, but because you are running your your business like a machine to a point that is so attractive that even people that want to actually will come in to say, I want to invest. And that is how you should be building up your business. So
Awesome.
Fatima, don't stress. You are fine. When you are ready, the money will come. Let's get you ready.
Awesome. I also just want to say that, and maybe the other guys can take a leaf out of my page, if that's the right way of saying it. But what I did was I invited, so I recently opened an account with Absa. I've been following them pre-COVID. I've seen that they're doing really well in the space of helping SMEs. And so I made the move a couple of, maybe 2 months ago. And I, before COVID, I did start the ball, but I still sort of kept Standard Bank as the main bank account. And then it's only now that I saw, listen, but these guys are not doing anything for us. And so I went back and I knocked on Absa's door after attending, a few of the sessions where they speaking to small businesses. And then I went and I spoke to the bank manager again at Absa, and I made the decision. I said, CSD, everything I'm moving over to the Absa account. And then I invited these guys again. They were here in 2019. I invited them again today to come and see. And I mean, the response that I got was that they can see the trajectory from where we were to where we are now. And so, even the fact that Absa took the time out to come, the bank manager, my manager took the time out to come and see what am I doing and things like that. So it was really inspiring.
Oh, thanks for the positive feedback.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Khabi, please come through.
Good evening. Hi,
Good evening. Hi, how are you?
good in yourself. Yeah, my question is that if the business is making money, but you take 90% of the money to reinvest in the business, like my nature of the business that I'm doing is education. So once I get some little bit of money, I buy a laptop. Get another money, I buy a printer. So my business now don't have a money, but they show that the money come in and buy something. So how is it gonna affect me when I come to you as a funder?
Kelly, you want to answer and I will add in if there's anything.
Sure. As previously stated, Kavi, please have a relationship with your banker. They will motivate that you are reinvesting in the business. So now your business has certain assets. It's not like the money's going out, you are going on holiday. So you are reinvesting in the business. Now you do have certain assets for the business. So it's not a bad financial decision that you're making. Keep your banker closer so they know that these funds went for that, and then we keep record of that. So it's not, don't feel bad for reinvesting in the business. You are supposed to reinvest in the business. Precious, please add.
Thank you.
So there's nothing wrong you, Khabi, actually doing that. Actually, it's good when you're doing that because you can show. As long as you make sure when you go and buy those things, don't do a cash withdrawal, because then we start questioning cash withdrawals. Make sure you use an EFT so that you can see, his game, he was buying a laptop. Now you can actually keep up the receipts. There's nothing wrong about you spending the money to build your business. All I was just trying to say is that don't keep your bank account empty. Don't keep your account empty, because when the account is empty, even though it's an account that you only get charged for it for transactions and transactions, you still need to show that there is business activities going on. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. It makes sense.
Okay.
I will use the bank account or online EFT, as you mentioned.
Yes. So it's about you using the money. Don't do cash withdrawals. Avoid doing cash withdrawals. Obviously, there are instances where you need to do a cash withdrawal, but avoid doing those. Pay by a card. Just have activities in your account.
Yes, thank you.
Guys, I also just want to say, I'm struggling to manage the group. I've brought more resources, but some of you still DM me and ask me about a link. Guys, you just such a high maintenance. Because you are not organized, you then make me look not organized. And mean, I have partners that I work with that are accountable, that look at me and think, oh, that is how she ran a program. No, it can't be right. I am not only in this program, I have about 6 other programs with NEF and SARS running. I'm not even counting Absa projects that I'm running. But the way you are acting sometimes is just difficult to work with some of you, because even when I have dedicated time, you can't be DMing me about the link. Please. Please. You have coordinators. I actually have 2 resources which are coordinators. The third one is Denise. And then you even call me during the session. You're calling me to pick up the phone, so that, no, guys, no, we can't work like that. Please. Okay, so I'm trying to look at if there's any other questions. I want us also to talk about investment now, and I want to explain this in a very specific way. So some of you in your business plan, you are asking for a car. It's important to have a car. Fatima, are you still around?
Yes, yes, Precious, I am.
Please allow me to use your business.
Sure.
Okay. And if I'm wrong, please tell me also, because I might have read your stuff, or I've read somebody else's stuff and I thought I was reading your stuff. It's too many that I've been reading. So bear with me.
No
so
problem.
Let's just say Fatima does manufacturing of chemicals. And Fatima, in her budget, in her request for funding, she has a vehicle. A vehicle is meant to deliver the materials. Are we all on the same page, right? And then when I analyze Fatima's terms and conditions, Fatima's terms and conditions say we deliver when you place the order within maybe 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers, whatever terms of preference, terms and payments are. But when I check the number of orders that Fatima does versus the driver's roster and versus the value that business actually generates, I can see that 1 is not enough orders. 2, the number of orders that Fatima is getting, they are actually, when she doesn't have a limit, she doesn't say, you know what, I can only deliver if you are ordering more than 50 liters, for example, 50 liters of a soap, so and so and so, whatever chemical it is. You have to understand that your business is not in the delivery of chemicals. Your business is in what? Manufacturing of chemicals. Which then means, as much as you should try to get your products to the client, you need to ask yourself, are they distributors? Are there wholesalers that I can sell to, who will then sell to my customers? Stop trying to pretend to be both the manufacturer and the retailer at the same time, because you're spending a lot of time then running around. This applies to all manufacturers. Actually, Paul, same thing with you. You gotta need to understand that in manufacturing, you are selling the volume. You are not selling the 50 liters. You're supposed to sell what? Hundreds of liters, tons of liters, for you to break even, for you to have economies of scale, for you to make serious money. And again, apologies, Fatima, I'm using your example and Paul's one because I want to illustrate the point. So that is one. Another thing that you should watch for, if I check the number of units you are making versus the number of the amount that you are left with at the bottom, and I see that the amount is too little in terms of the profits, I might not give you the re-injection of capital, because I can see that it's going to be difficult for you to do what? To pay back the loan when there are no orders coming through. So what does that mean? It means get the orders. Get the orders and start piling the orders, start scheduling the orders, trying to get the current manufacturing plant to produce 100% capacity. Even if you don't have orders, rather produce to keep in a warehouse. Find a way of actually having a storage where you keep your stock in the warehouse so that you can push the sales. That is where you guys, especially all of you who are in manufacturing, that's the only way you can build up. You see, when you have stock in the storage, the balance sheet start improving. But what also is going to happen is that you can forget about the production. You can now start focusing on what? On sales. You can now really focus on sales. You can actually like say, you know what? Sales. And then as your sales go up, you will then start seeing also your production in 6 months' time also picking up, especially because we also have problems with load shedding. Load shedding affects your productivity and how you are working already, which means you are not working at your highest possible. The last point, make sure that your equipment, i.e. being the equipment useful life, ties back to the contract. Or if it doesn't tie back to the contract, the current sales that you are making now cover at least 60 to 80% of the equipment that you are looking for. So if the equipment produces 10,000 units, you should already be selling at least 80 units. Then I will literally hold your hand and say, here's the fund, because it means that you will be able, because the only thing you need to now to focus on is the 20%, is the 20,000, to get rid of the 20,000. So match your sales with your equipment. Show to the funder that you actually need this equipment to get yourself funded. Fatima, does that make sense? Applying all those 3-4 principles that I've just
Absolutely
to work on. Those are the
Yes.
things we need to focus on.
Yes, absolutely, Precious. Because also what I wanted to ask was around the transport. You know, if we had to outsource the transport, it's very expensive for us to do so. But I'm thinking that maybe if we have a minimum quantity, you know, that qualifies for a
Yes.
free delivery,
Yes.
then
Yes.
Okay.
Minimum quantity will cover you. The minimum
Okay.
you're gonna need to say, and also you need to plan it, plan your deliveries, and say on a Tuesday we do this region, on this so that the driver does not go zigzag.
Makes sense.
Most of the things that we're doing as entrepreneurs, because it's the first time we're running these businesses, we're making a lot of mistakes. There's no proper planning. There's no logistics in how we're doing things. Because the client has placed an order, it means now it needs to be delivered. No, we need to plan our roster. That's why when you are looking at your customers, we have to analyze where are your biggest sales and where do those customers reside? How often, what is their buying pattern? Because from the buying pattern, Fatima, we can now map up what? The logistics around that.
Absolutely, Precious. Thank you so much for that. I put a question forward to ask, how do we get our current clients? So I've got a very big corporate that is buying from us on a monthly basis. However, it's been very difficult. I actually don't know how to approach it, to ask them to commit maybe to a contract with me for 12 months. You know, I do understand we can't have an evergreen contract.
I hear you. So you first say check their request or their request for quote or their sale, the sales that you have made, how many units they actually have bought from you. You then craft a letter and say, dear sir, we have noticed that in the past 12 months, you have bought this number of volume from us over this period. Based on your volume that we foresee that it will be better for us to actually have a contractual arrangement so that we know we're fulfilling your order and we are making sure that we're meeting your lead time. I promise you, if you word it that way, Fatima, they will actually be open to discuss. And you can also tell them that we are willing to reduce the price because we now will be under a contractual arrangement.
That's perfect. Thanks, Precious.
No problem. If you need someone to assist you to craft the letter, I can assist you with that. Just DM
Awesome.
me.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. And you can do that with all your clients. I remember the other time when we were talking, you also had schools. Same thing with the schools. You can do the same thing. Even though with the school, because they're temp-based, you can actually do it per quarter. Because schools usually also have tight budgets. So you can say to the school, you know what, let's have a quarterly contract arrangement. And by the way, when the school closes and you're worried that the stock might get stolen, don't worry, I can come and collect it. Do you understand what I mean? So
that's brilliant. Yeah.
It's about always thinking about the client. What is their risk? What is their challenges? And you come and say, okay, that is when, because you also know the school will get there at the beginning of the day, they will have more money, but somewhere in the middle of the year, they may not have as much money. So it's also about managing those expectations.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Precious.
Great. Thank you so much, Fatima. Olile, please come through.
Hello,
Olile, yes, we can hear you, Sissy. Please go ahead.
Hello.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much. Mine is more like a commitment, or I'll say, okay, maybe let me put it this way.
Olile, we can't hear you. I'm not sure. Pindile, Linden, can you hear her? Nobis.
Can you hear me now?
No, it's very
Hello?
faint. Okay, this is better. Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, let me just get some things. Can you close the door for me? I can hear you. Is it better now?
Yes, it's better now.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Precious, and thank you also, Keleto and Deborah. For me, it's more like of a commitment. I've just realized that I had a number of fears and I did not put much of the work, as I am doing the seed production from August. For me, it is planting season. For the first time, I went to look at my financials, and I was so shocked at the transaction and the money passing through the account. So I've realized that I am the one to put in the work going forward. As much as I need finances and using the using the guidance given on this platform, I was able to even read my business plan and it made sense. So now left with the finance part of it. As much as I'm doing much on the ground, I'm not really able to communicate my work. That's what I've picked up from myself. And I think that's it for now. The loophole is just on me minimizing overstretching myself too thin and focus on the most important things, because what I have done, I had invested so much on marketing. Demand now has been created. I can't now meet the demand, and on needing capacity generation or increasing capacity, I'm not able to send a business plan that is that really talks to what I need. But then recently, using the tools that have been provided, my business plan even makes sense to me now. Yes. Thank you.
But what I want you also to understand is that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes and not you. I mean, it's difficult, guys, to see your own mistakes. Somebody has to reflect your mistake. That's why sometimes it's also difficult. But you have a great business, Colin. I've looked at your work and the things that you are doing. What you need now to work on is to record the orders, even the orders that you cannot fulfill, because that is how we will then be able to say, what is your capacity? When you are not recording the sales, even the ones that you cannot fulfill, it's then going to be difficult to say, how much capacity then do you need? The other thing is that because your work is seasonal, which means you gotta need to produce during the season when there is no. So your business should actually have the other way around. It means you're gonna need to look at the full year cycle and understand, when do I start my promotion? When do I do my production? And that is why you need to rework again. I know it's the third time now I ask you to rework your business plan, but I'm gonna ask you to go back again to it to say, based on the leads and the revenues and also the requests that you are getting, what does that mean in how you plan your full year? Because it's only when we are able to plan the full year, we can then come back and say, there is a capacity issue here, and how much of that capacity is required. And I think it will help for you also to get some land, additional more land, so that you can do your seeds. I think that will assist. But we are looking to work with few partners within Limpopo and Mpumalanga. So we'll come back to you. By the way, Tsakan is from Limpopo. So yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So actually I was there when Tsakan on Monday. Was it Monday?
Yes, it was Monday.
Yeah, I was there on Monday. So there is quite a lot of work and activities going on that we're gonna also continue and start there in South and Sagana. So we will come back to you soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Don't worry though, you are at the right time. Don't feel like you are missing out. Your business is gonna grow, but it's gonna grow as far as you grow. So just take the lessons for now. Let's build and make sure that we're building that capacity. It might help for us to see if we can get you a revolving loan or a credit card, so that at least you can cover some operational expenses to build up while we're building up a business plan that's really gonna be for big stuff. So yeah. And Olile just wrote her exams, and I think she did well, even though she was so nervous. so, and I can't wait to have your accreditation. She was doing her accreditation as one of the people within the seed space. So we just need to get you a good mentor also. So I can't wait to be introduced to Dr. Lunga Simelane from the agribusiness within Absa. Absa also releases several publications. I think the last one that I read was Citrus. So guys, the banks also release quite a lot of research and information. Have a look at those things. That will also help your business so that you know what the leaders are saying about that industry. Okay, seems like no one is asking any questions. Fatima, yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, Precious. I just want to ask, because we in the production, in inventory, and we do carry stock. What I find that is, I'm not sure if anyone can recommend an inventory control system that we can use, because you sometimes you're not always on top of the numbers as to you produced maybe 1,000 liters, but the selling of that, and there's 15 other products, there's 15 products in the basket that we're working with, but when it comes to the controls, how many 5 liters did I sell, how many 200 liters, how many 25 liters, we're still a bit challenged around that. So I've been doing research on apps for inventory control, but I think, if somebody has experience on it, if you guys can share it with me, what will work for in the production side of stuff.
Okay. Fatima, do you have an accountant?
I do. So I spoke to him because we're working with Zero. Even from a CRM perspective, I wanted to see when you drill down, you have to do. It's not at the click of a button where you can say, listen, this is how many. If I just use a simple product like dishwashing liquid, this is how many units we sold. These are the customers that bought the 5 liters or 25 liters. It's a long-winded way that you need to extract the information, where I find that if I will need a good CRM as well as a good inventory control system.
So my suggestion will be Pastel. Pastel has a better stock system than Zero, especially for fast-moving goods.
Okay, so would you suggest that we
I would suggest that you consider using Pastel than Zero for your inventory management system. But I also think it's not the system, it's your controls, it's your team, how you are managing the stock.
Yes.
My suggestion will be between now until March next year, focus on the systems so that you can then immigrate from the 1st of March, because your financial year end is February, right?
Yes, yes.
So immigrate only from the 1st of March next year. Don't immigrate in the middle of the financial year end. So use now until then the internal controls. I can, maybe let's talk offline. I can come to Cape Town. I think we do have Cape Town trips for NEF. I can come for earlier or 2 days early, and then I can assist you with setting up the system for stock.
That will be so awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Precious.
Okay, so just speak to Tsakane and Denise in terms of my schedule, and then we can also start doing work now for the stock management. So start getting the stock and because it's about just controls first. System doesn't help. I mean, we all know we're supposed to do budget, but because you don't have a system to manage the budget or to run the budget, we don't do it. So controls, let's fix the control first, and then we can fix and get the system to fit into the controls.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Then who else is here? Guys, please sign your attendance register. Is there any other questions that I've missed? Guys, how did you find the material for investment? Just remember, this program is a pilot. So when you guys are not saying anything about the material, we're going to assume all is clear. Yes, Xolela, please come through.
Hello, Precious, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thanks. Okay. The question I posted, maybe you didn't see it. It's about getting a list from a co-op that has been given a list by a trust firm. So I'm the third person now in the picture. Would Absa or any funder consider that it's a farm, but I did not get the hectares that I was looking for because the space is already, or the hectares are already taken by various co-ops in the farm. Now there's this one co-op that is willing to list the space. Is that something that can be considered?
Of course, Xolela, something like that it's better, it's a start, even though it's not the size that you are looking for. But what maybe I want to ask you is that try to, in the relationship, try to make sure that the contract that you have is very strong so that they don't chase you out from this when they fight between themselves. Because platforms like that, there's a lot of back and forth between the members.
Especially being a co-op, yes.
There's lots of disagreements. So just make sure that your lease agreement is watertight. Watertight in court, they wouldn't be able to touch you, kind of thing, Even if there's changes in leadership, there's changes. It's just not about, anyway. So things like that I can do if I was you, I will actually ask them to sign the agreement. The people that have signed the agreement must have a resolution that has been signed by all co-ops members to say that you can take it.
Okay. All right.
Just to cover yourself. And then make sure the terms within the actual agreement now, they're also watertight.
Yeah, at least 15 years is a good period. One can recover the investment and still do good business in the future.
Yes. Yeah. So just make sure that they can't chase you outside of they can't chase you during that 15 years. And in that 15 years, also the specific protections, they have their roles, you have your role. Make sure those roles in that period are very clear on what you're expecting from them.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah. And what they expect from you. So when members change, they come with new obligations. That's what I mean when I'm saying watertight. They shouldn't even think about touching it.
No, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Okay.
Do we have a lawyer here? Guys, I want to check. Do we have a lawyer? Do we have someone from the legal background? Okay. Axolela bengizama ukutholela umuntu. Hayi ngihlulekile.
Next time, don't worry. And I'll see if from my friends somehow I can get some advice.
My suggestion is that get someone from your friends, or you can actually ask someone to just do a review. I do have a lady that I work with. Zakane Lokhuza, what is her name? The lady that we work with at NEF.
Rowena.
No. The legal name. Yolele.
Oh, Yolelo Sikunyana.
Yes. Please share Yolela's details on our thingy. Yolela, you need a lawyer to just double check and make sure everything is well. Okay.
Much appreciated. Thanks so much. Sure.
No problem. Great. Okay, guys. I see there's no other question. Because get letter is she's still with us. Yo.
Yes, no worries. I'm here. I'm working and I'm listening. So no, don't mind me, Precious. I'm here.
Okay. Is anyone who has
So,
questions?
okay, sorry, Precious, to jump in. I'm talking with Katas now. Would you consider such kind of arrangement if it's crafted properly by a lawyer, Absa?
Yes, if it's crafted properly and it's clear on the lease and everything that Precious has indicated, yes.
Okay, all right then. Thanks. Sure.
Great, thank you so much. Who else? So we also have Nelson. Nelson is one of the most hardworking. He's in student accommodation. So yeah, hi Nelson. So I know some of you guys, some of your businesses. So yeah. And Mr. Williams, hi, how are you doing? Grantham, hi. Okay, he is not asking. Olile, please come through.
All right, thank you. I would like to check from Keleto if they are able to fund communal land where we don't have a title deed but only a PTO from the chief.
You wanna buy a PTO? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm operating from a communal land, or I'll say tribal land. So
Yes.
will they can fund on communal land.
Can
That's
I answer then, Keleto, you can correct me, please? So remember, when you have a lease agreement like a PTO, it's just a property to occupy. There is no, you are not buying it, right?
Yes.
You're just occupying it. Are you with me? Because you're just occupying it, the expenses that are going on it, they're gonna go to your income statement. They're not going to your balance sheet. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, which you don't even need funding for it then. But you need your operation, you need money from Absa to do the operational so that you can plant, so that you can produce your seeds.
Okay, so I may not request for a plant, for example, for seed processing.
So you can get a plant, but the plant has nothing to do with the land you're operating on.
Though it will be constructed in the land, and somehow the lease is 50 years.
Yes, it will be constructed on the land, but Absa can fund the plant. They don't care that it will be on the PTO as long as the PTO is signed by the right authority.
Okay.
Is signed by the right authority. And the nice thing, Olila, about your business, it can actually be packaged as a rural project.
Yes, it is actually a rural.
NEF will actually love to fund projects like that. So you can maybe also consider getting a portion of capital and then ask Absa to cover your working capital and your revolving loan.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
That's how you should also think about it. But for the plant, Absa can do that. We just need to prove to Absa that you have the orders.
Okay, thank you.
You see, Precious secretly works for Absa. Well covered.
You remember the documents that I had asked you to do? I've been reading them, analyzing them, and I will call Sanel. Remember Sanel? You're the SME manager.
Yes.
So I will ask Sanel. Sanel likes he's always answering my calls. Sanel, what does this mean? How do I do this?
Oh, great, very Precious.
Thank you. Some of it is just also just experience of what we have seen works and what doesn't work. Lindy, hello everyone. Guys, I don't want to waste everyone's time. If you don't have questions, and you're fine with the content, you don't have questions, can I hear, I'm gonna be analyzing the report from the coordinators this week, Utsagane, our training coordinator, and our product coordinator, on what they have picked up from talking to individual of you as to why assignment is not done. And why is it important for us to say you have to do the assignments? Because it tells us that you are working on your work, on your business, but also it then guarantees us to have what? The proper product. We are planning to start also giving you guys feedback on your business plans. Please make yourself available. Sometimes it might be even be weekends. So bear with me. I'm trying to cut myself into pieces here. Initially, I was not gonna review everyone's business plan. I was gonna do it random. But after I've gone through few of your business plans, I realized I needed to actually go through everyone. So I think I'm done on my side. I don't have any more thing to do or to say, not unless there's questions. Bonginkosi, Kolile, Didaba, Enoch, Fatima, Rantham, Kolile, yes?
Oh, my hand was lowered. I'm okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, I think it's Kolile.
Can you hear me, Precious?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
I missed the opening of the presentation by an Absa representative, but I wanted to check if their funding needs some sort of collateral or some contribution from the side of an entrepreneur, and what would be their thinking if one says, yes, I've got a vehicle that I'm using day to day. I know its value, and when things are approved, and I'm willing to get rid of it and get the cash, and then inject it in the business as my commitment or as my investment to the business to show that I'm fully committed into it. But I want to understand, do they need some collateral or some kind of commitment from the entrepreneur in terms of a contribution in a capital that one needs? I'm talking about an idea in this case, not necessarily a business that is existing and that is running. The business, the business registration is there, and then someone is doing other activities. But for this particular business, that I would like them to fund me for, would they? What are their terms? Do they need any collateral? Do they need any contribution from the entrepreneur? Thank you.
Okay, Keleto, go ahead, sis.
Sure. Hi, Kolila. I think you missed the first part of the presentation. In terms of alternative funding, you do not need any collateral or security if you don't have. Because it's a startup, your business plan has to be so detailed that it speaks for you when you're not there. It has to have the correct cash flow projections. We have to see that you've done the proper research that goes into it. And what that will be attached with your CV. So no, you do not need any collateral, but please do show us that in terms of this business, there will be profitability. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Follow-up question. And in cases where profitability may start after 3 months, what's your take on that?
Then your business plan will simply say that with your cash flow projections that it's bound to start after 3 months, and even in your payment plan, you will show that you'll not be paying off the loan with the first month. You must remember that there is arrangements in place to say that, look, can I pay off this loan after 3 months, because business will only make money after a certain time. So it doesn't mean when you have a loan today, they'll expect you to pay month end. So those are the arrangements that goes into place. That's why I say that your business plan has to be so detailed that it speaks exactly to this arrangements that you're talking about right now.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Good answer.
All right.
Yes. So, however, also, Kolela, you have to understand that Absa is a bank, it's a business. Therefore, whatever that your cash flow projection must talk to what is happening. However, consider also bringing in a grant in the first 6 months. Consider getting a government funding also in the first 6 months of that business, so that the banker comes a bit later. But I also want to say Absa has an alternative funding. In the alternative funding, from what I remember, they also partner with the government. So you might actually say, you know what, Absa, if you can fund me, I'm gonna go and get, or you go and get money from NEF and then say, Absa, go with me, because it's almost like the Absa and I think it was, I forgot who was the funder that they had, so that you can have a matching arrangement depending on the industry that you're at. So don't think it's the money that you guys are looking for, you're only gonna get it from one place. Think of, you're gonna go and get the money in different places based on the risk assessment, because each bank or each institution will look at your application in a different way. Don't then
I hear you, Sis Precious. Sometimes people talk about double dipping. You can't get funds here.
It's
You can't
not
get
double
funds.
dipping. Double dipping happens in the NPO space, not in business, my brother.
Okay.
Double
I'm learning.
dipping is a non-profit organization that generally double dip. You can never double dip in your business, because your money, when you spend the money, I will know you can't produce 2 receipts. So
Okay, that's some education. Thank you so much. I thought if you are considered by NYDA, then you can't go to CFA.
You go to
now-
NYDA for a different thing. You go to another funder for a different thing because of how they see you. For example,
And their limits.
Yes, for example, and their limits and their risk. So Fatima, for example, runs a manufacturing plant. I can actually approach Productivity SA for her to be, for Productivity SA to come and do processes and systems, right? So that she increase the productivity.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different funding model. I can also
that only focuses on a certain area in the business.
Exactly, and I can then go to there's a with the province will also have their own funding. In their funding, maybe one of the interventions that I might have picked up is to implement a new system where we have to train Fatima's team. We have to also create, write down policies and procedures. I can go to the province and ask for money just for that. Or we can ask that money from Absa, from the Absa Enterprise Development Program within her province. That is not double dipping. I am going in different places looking for funding for the things that I need.
For different aspects.
For different aspects, for different things. That's not double dipping.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you so much, man.
Sure. Hi, Fatima.
Sorry, Precious. I just wanted to ask, with what you've said now, so is there any way that Absa can assist me with Astron, how, because the application is, they're having a look at it now. is there any way that I'm almost asking someone just to endorse me in terms of where we're coming from? Can we look at some, where Absa can come in and say to Astron, listen, we have this company's interest at heart, or something to that effect? I'm just asking.
Okay, so I'm not sure what you're asking. Maybe we can take it also offline, because we're also recording and this is going to be on YouTube. So
Okay, all right.
bear with me. I will take it offline with you. However, I also just want to manage the expectation. Your Astron Energy is looking for you to supply them. Is that what's happening in your business?
I am on the portal as a supplier, but I also applied for, they call it the AEDF funding model, that where they assist businesses with funds as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, any bank, all banks issue something which is called, it's almost like, it's not a letter of credit. It's like it's like a conduct letter. These letters, they call them a C or a B or an A. It's almost like a rating. Your banker can actually, any banker can, when you ask them, they can give you that rating.
Okay, all right.
But we can talk again outside this on the specific, but I wanted also for you guys to know. So let's just take in your case, Nelson, for example, when you want to build, you want to start building a student accommodation, and you want to start getting the material from builders warehouse, they will want to have that letter, and you need to get that letter from your bank. It's like they're having, it's like, it's got A, B, C, and D, and it's almost like it's a category of classification of type of what is it that you are actually clientele or category that you fall in. But that category then tells the person who's giving you credit or who's giving you any support or money on what and how. Okay, so yeah, consider doing that also. Let's talk though offline. Okay, people are having load shedding now, guys. Thank you so much for your time. We will load this video, and God bless you. Keep on working. Please schedule the time. Please submit your business plans. Please use the AI as I have given instruction and guide. Thank you so much. Let's have better businesses and make more money. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
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 everyone.
bye, Inek. Bye, everyone.
Please don't forget, hi
Thank you,
everyone,
thank you,
please
thank
don't
you so
forget
much,
to vote
guys.
on the
Thanks
poll
for visiting our
in
awesome.
the notice board. Don't forget to vote on
Bye,
the
bye everyone.
Thank you so very much for the guest.
Thank you, thank you. We are gonna bring more guests. We're actually expecting Builders Warehouse, especially for the build industry. We are also gonna bring Profit Share, company that focuses on contract financing. So yeah, stay tuned and keep on working hard and sending stuff. Let me review things and tell you if you are in the right path or what I think. And yeah, we keep on working on our businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, my precious.
Thanks. Bye.
I learned a lot, even if I'm in the business, in the education space.
No, but we spoke about your business. So what we need to work on now is how to scale what you do. Maybe let's talk offline again, because you had me the last time, but I think you're still not seeing it. And I think I have more solutions for you now.
Yeah, and I submitted assignment 1. I don't know if you get it.
No, we get all the assignment, but we are already, I think, Sakane, we're on assignment number 3 now, when you're still having
we're
one.
We're going to be following up on all the assignments throughout the week. So expect an email if we have something that we don't see on our side yet. So
Yes.
next week we'll update everyone. Right now we're just balancing our numbers with just double checking who we have, who we don't have.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you so for attending. Thank you. It's good to see you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.